Hey guys, this is Miko from MO Sound Lab and welcome to the geekiest video for the XFX3 that you'll ever see. But hopefully by the end of this video we'll have a patch that'll sound just like a real Mark IIC Plus from 1984. So what you're looking at here is my Cubase project, and in here I have a reamp DI signal that I've run through the real amplifier with pretty much my ideal settings. I also did the reamp with the graphical EQ off and with it on, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the Fractal. So this way I can make sure that I'm just using the graphical EQ to simulate the graphical EQ, and the preamp will be kind of the same. So the tone that I have here is sort of a Metallica, John Petrucci, you know, that type of a metal rhythm sound. So let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, so this is what it sounds like with the graphic EQ off. What I want to do now is use the same exact settings on the XFX3, and I've actually already done that. So we have the USA 2C Plus with the deep pulled. That's the mode that I'm using, and these are the settings that I have. So both drives are at 7.5, bass at 2, middle at 3, treble at 7, and presence is at 4. So I go with even numbers, and I think that's good enough for this demonstration. So here's what we have right now, and I'll quickly explain the curves that you'll be seeing here. So the green curve will be the XFX3, the red curve is the 2C Plus with the graphic EQ engaged, and the white curve will be the 2C Plus with the EQ turned off. And this is much more powerful than, for example, tone matching, because you can see the real-time EQ, meaning that you see the dynamics and stuff like that. Especially for the palm mutes, it's really hard for you to get that sound with just EQ. Okay, so let's start tweaking this sound. So I've done nothing with the EQ, the graphic EQ, on the XFX3, and I want to get the preamp sounding exactly the same before I continue. So let's see how the graphs look. Okay, so the green line is the XFX, so it has a little bit more of that uber top end. It's not very noticeable. It has a little bit less low mids and a little bit more bass. And obviously every 2C Plus will sound a little bit different, but overall the EQ balance is really close. What I think I'm hearing is that the gain is not that close. So what I did with the reamp is just play a long chord so I can just see the amount of gain. So let's see what happens. Now that you saw that the green curve kind of fell off before the white one, means that we have less gain on this amp model here. So let's try and match those curves. Okay, so now they're kind of lining up better. So let's start playing the riff and see if I can get the EQ balance correct. So I'm kind of running into a problem where the high end is closer to the real thing when I have the presence all the way up, but it adds some gain and some of that flubby gain that I really don't want to have. So let's try the EQ settings then. Okay, so I think I'm gonna compensate for that with the graphic EQ when the time is right. It's gonna be a little bit easier. When I'm doing the amp packs and stuff like that, I usually go deeper into the advanced settings and set things accordingly. But for now, let's just do it with the graphic EQ. So I think we're pretty close here. Let's just compare the XFX to the 2C Plus with the graphic EQ off. So yeah, the difference that you hear is definitely that high end, more of that sizzle, more of an aggressive sound. But like I said, it's not something that's unrealistic on the XFX3. All 2C Plus amplifiers are different sounding. And this one is in Europe and a fully original export Europe version of the 2C Plus, so there can be differences like this. Now, let's compare this sound to the full-on graphic EQ on 2C Plus. As is to be expected, we have way too much mids now. So let's just start tweaking this. Okay, so I still see the differences in the uber high end, but I think we have something that's really close now. So let's have a listen. Let's listen to the palm mutes then. Maybe it's easier if I just loop the same palm mute so you can hear it. So okay, so I'll do a quick fix here. I'll just add a parametric EQ and a high cut. So blocking, and let's just match these high ends so maybe they will sound more closer to each other this way. Okay, so now the uber high end is also matching the real thing. As you can see, this is a very minor thing in the high end that you don't really usually even hear. So let's have a listen now. Okay, and now for I feel like the low mids is still not quite there. Let's see what I can do. It starts to mess up the middles if I boost this too much, so I think I'm gonna use a parametric EQ to fix this as well. So that's in the 200 Hz range. Let's just use this one.